Hello everybody, I'm Jeffrey Phillips, and lately in my class I've been encouraged to look at the news more. And while the news is an amazing conglomeration of politics, pop culture, real world events, if there's one thing the news just doesn't understand, it's TikTok. They don't understand the dancing, they don't understand the memes, they don't understand the trends. And most of the time, when TikTok is on the news, it's not even newsworthy stuff. For example, Kylie Jenner transforms into Justin Bieber with funny TikTok filter. This makes me so happy. Where they take a video of a Kylie Jenner doing a Justin Bieber filter and just describe what happened in that video. In the funny video, Jenner could be seen sitting in a makeup chair wearing a black furry robe as she showed off the filter and pulled off her best Bieber impression while a hairstylist pulled her brunette locks into a bun. Which I'm glad to say, that is what happens in the video. Christine Hatcher, I think a raise is coming your way. Imagine writing that article and you're like, oh yeah, this is some groundbreaking information right here. I don't even think the biggest Kylie Jenner fan has a use for that article, because if they're the biggest Kylie Jenner fan, I would hope they would just be following her on TikTok. But Kirsten is not done. She then describes another time Kylie Jenner had fun with a filter on TikTok. A video of Kylie Jenner doing an aging filter, shaking her head as she saw the results of the filter for the first time. A shocked Jenner told the camera, "I don't like it." This is something I never knew I needed in my life. I wish we had more articles to just describe other random funny videos on the internet. "Only a spoonful," his friend replied. King Bach then returned with a devious smile and a comically large spoon. BuzzFeed News also posted something similar to this. Kim Kardashian's panicked reaction to unknowingly trying the aging filter on TikTok has got people talking. And by the phrase "has got people talking," it's just referring to people in the comment section talking about the video, which what else are they going to talk about? But my favorite part of this article is instead of showing it like the last article and then describing it, it plays like an old-timey slideshow as they show pictures and then describe what's happening in the picture one by one. At first, Kim seems unaware that the TikTok filter is going to age her. However, as soon as she realizes that the filter is altering her appearance, she visibly freaks out and tries to hide from the camera by covering her face with her hand. But to be fair, these are not news sites as much as they are pop culture / celebrity news sites. So let's take a look at more official news sites and see what they say about TikTok. "TikTok ruined my husband of 12 years. Now he wants a trad wife and we're getting divorced." Alright, now we're talking. This is some hard hitting news. I had never heard of the term trad wife before I read this article, but now I wish I never have. Alright, that's a little dramatic. It's just short for a traditional wife. One who has proudly eschewed a career in favor of domestic duties. It is immensely popular on TikTok with over 296.8 million views under the hashtag. These videos just radiate pick-me girl energy.
Bring back the patriarchy. I want to stay at home. I want to take care of my kids. What do you mean buy you flowers? What do you mean pay for dinner?
What do you mean bring back the patriarchy? The way the trad wives talk about it in this trend is like, la-di-da, I get to take care of the kids, I get to clean the house, I get to make dinner, everything's done for me. That's not how patriarchy and traditional wives were treated back in the day. First of all, taking care of kids is no walk in the park. The stresses from taking care of kids is equal, if not more, stressful than a full week of work or full day of work. And if we're talking traditional patriarchy, it isn't men taking care of women and paying for the dinner because they care. It was men dominating and exploiting women. It's not some forever spa day like it's painted in the videos of the trad wife. I know this because I was there in the 1900s. And of course the men in the comments are all for it. "We must protect her at all costs. I like this one. A simple housewife is all we need." Motherfucker, I looked at your profile and you couldn't be older than 14. Anyway, it's clear to me that this trend can be problematic. So is this article going to be warning against the trad wife agenda and warning about the misogynistic themes of it and how this could negatively affect an impressionable youth? No, not at all. It's just a retelling of a Reddit post. "He wasn't even ashamed or felt remorse," she said after busting her Buve's clandestine communications. Andrew Court went deep into his thesaurus bag when writing this one. Seriously though, this is a whole article about a Reddit post that we have no proof of being real whatsoever. That is not something worthy of being posted on the New York Post. In fact, none of the articles I read are newsworthy in the slightest. I don't care if you're a celebrity magazine. There is no need in the world for an article describing a video as simple as someone using a filter on TikTok. We do not need an extra description to understand what is happening in those videos. However, that's just the tip of the news iceberg. What about real televised news? One of my favorite things about the news is how little they seem to understand a TikTok trend. For example, the news covered bed rotting as a TikTok trend.
The TikTok trend deemed as bed rotting has raised some concerns from mental health experts. So bed rotting is when people decide to stay in bed all day.
I don't think that's a TikTok trend. I think that's just depression or just the news not understanding the content of a TikTok trend. For example, in this segment of Good Morning America, they cover girl dinner and if it's a healthy trend.
You heard of girl dinner? So this is a viral.
And the clips they use are like amazingly healthy arrangements of food.
They're not people who are, engaging in any kind of
That is not what girl dinner is.
call that their dinner and name it. Go for it.
Girl dinners are not healthy at all. At this point, I wonder who researched that video, because if you just look up girl dinner on TikTok, all the results are just the shittiest meals possible.
This is my meal. I call this girl dinner.
But the most interesting part of TikTok on the news is the amount of unhinged trends that show up on the news. One video I saw was dangerous trends on TikTok, and all the trends are just stupid as hell. The worst ones are easily the penny challenge.
Show a coin being dropped between the prongs of a phone charger that is loosely connected to an outlet.
Why would you do that? That's so dangerous for what? Like 10 likes on TikTok? The funny thing about that trend is TikTok clearly knew it was bad publicity, so they definitely paid someone to create an entirely different penny challenge. So now when you search up penny challenge, it's just like some random challenge about people counting pennies. Then there's the Benadryl challenge.
Benadryl challenge is when you take 12 Benadryls to hallucinate,
which people have literally died from. I don't even know why you would want to hallucinate in the first place. That shit is scary as hell. It's funny because my original intent when making this video is just to make fun of the news and how over exaggerated their stories are about dangerous trends on TikTok. But watching this just made me realize how many dumbasses there are on TikTok that make videos for impressionable children and give them the most horrible ideas ever, which leads to injuries and even death. And the last one of the video is just ridiculous.
One more thing that parents should be aware of is the mouth taping challenge. TikTok users claim that putting tape on your mouth before bed will force you to breathe through your nose, improving oral health and preventing snoring. But it can actually do the opposite and cause suffocation.
That isn't even a challenge. That's the worst life hack in the world. Let's take a look at another one.
During this challenge, people are firing popular Orbeez water beads from air-powered guns.
Alright, I can see how this could be a dangerous TikTok challenge, but as long as there's just kids playing with each other, it shouldn't be too big of a problem.
In this video from Volusia County, a woman pushing a child on a stroller is the target.
Alright, that's not a TikTok trend. That's clearly just an illegal activity. None of the footage they use is even from TikTok itself. It's all just security footage. My favorite part is this guy crashing his car while playing with Orbeez BB guns. But I will say, this is most definitely not because of a trend on TikTok. They paint it as some national trend that everybody's doing on TikTok, like everybody's going around shooting random people.
This is a national trend. Everyone's doing it.
But in reality, it's just some dumb kids taking something too far that they saw on the internet. Which leads to another news story where they say that ding dong ditching is a trend, except this time instead of ding dong ditching, they kick the door.
The TikTok challenge that involves kicking a front door and running away before the occupants answer.
Which, yeah, this trend is posted on TikTok sometimes, but ding dong ditching has been around for way longer than the internet has even been around. So it's hard to really blame TikTok for this, but the news story I covered is so much deeper than TikTok itself. What I seem to have discovered is a war between the ding dong ditch bandits and the parents of the town. This video shows the people kicking on doors and they have their face covered like they're robbing a bank. And then the older people in the town, when they're getting interviewed, their faces are not shown like they're a whistleblower from the government or something. But it's not just people getting interviewed about why ding dong ditching is bad. One of the adults in the town put a string by his door to catch a teenager's foot when they kicked on the door, and he ended up catching someone. And the footage they show on the news is just completely unhinged.
Shared this video.
He for sure thinks they're gonna string him up and kill him tonight. Fuck, they caught me by the leg. Fuck, they're gonna kill me. Then less than 2 seconds after the door was kicked, the wife comes out and tries to attack the already caught teen. The lady had to be waiting right by the door, waiting to attack him. On top of that, not only does the lady go directly into harm's way, you have him tied up. You have the upper hand. Don't go into the one place that he could hurt you and possibly fight back. She then completely whiffs on her tackle of the guy and goes right into the bushes. Both the wife and teen would end up sustaining injuries from that altercation. But to be fair, if you're a teen and your leg gets caught and then an adult comes running at you trying to attack you, no fucking shit you're gonna fight back. What the hell was she thinking? In the end, both the adults and the teen were arrested and charged, which goes to show you that in war, there are no winners, only losers. It's clear when TikTok is on the news, it's almost never directly TikTok's fault. It's someone posting a video and then impressionable youth, they just take it way too far and make it dangerous for other people, which is definitely why the older generation treat TikTok like it's the devil and ruining the younger generation. By 2030, murder is probably going to be a TikTok challenge. This really just perfectly shows how social media completely dumbs you down. TikTok should be sued for contributory negligence. Actually, Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act says no to that.
Why did I say it like that?
But all in all, that was my experience with news on TikTok. Sometimes you'll get the most useless article in the world. Sometimes the news will be straight up wrong. And most of the time, it's dumbass kids doing dumbass things. Thank you all for watching. I'm Jeffrey Phillips. You're someone else. This video is over.